Time Premiership player's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it, Dion?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's always a dream to get to grand final day, and to win one is amazing. So, yeah, we're definitely very humbled and very proud of what we've done in 2019.
When Damien Hardwick took over as Richmond coach at the end of 2009, the club hadn't played finals in 8 years. 2010 was readjustment, then the steady upward progress began. 12th in 2011 when you joined the Tigers, Bachar, 12th again, then finals in 13, 14 and 15, but they all ended in week one losses. A disappointing 13th in 2016 tested faith and patience. But Bachar, other than Dion joining you in 2017, what else changed at Punt Road that saw that obvious potential that was lurking under the surface finally realised?
I think clearly that you know, there was something that had to change at the football club. It wasn't personnel or anything like that. Rather, it was a culture of the football club. And at the time, the club employed you know, some special people to come into the club and try to you know, to uplift the feeling around the football club. I think Dimmer went to do a course or two overseas to further his leadership skills and the way he coaches his team. But you know, as far as I can remember, you know, during that pre-season, it was full of fun. You know, it was just full of living in the moment, to be quite honest. And yeah, things just started to click in from week in to another week. And yeah, there was a great feeling. We started to build connection and further relationships with our fellow teammates. And yeah, it's just it's amazing when you start to really invest in each other. You start playing for each other, and the best football you know, comes out.
So the talent was always there, but the X factor, that special sauce, was just the relationships, the connection, and just enjoying the journey.
Absolutely, enjoying the journey. You know, that word is has kind of, you know, summed up our 3 years in the system, where you know, it's been very successful through you know, making the most of the journey, and don't let the final outcome you know, determine or you know, what's the word for it? More summarise you know, the whole moments that you have. So you know, I remember 2018 losing the prelim final. It was one game that we've lost, but rather the whole season was part of the journey, and it was a very successful year. And we believe that we can move forward and you know, believe in our system, and you know, and anything can happen from there.
Dion, Bachar mentioned the 2018 preliminary final. That denied you a shot at back-to-back glory. The disappointment of that night and then the aftermath when you guys got together as a group, what impact did that have on your 2019 season?
Yeah, it was obviously a disappointing night, and Collingwood really dominated the whole entire game. So I guess on the night you felt a bit helpless, like as you would losing a prelim, because you know how close you got to that success. But I wouldn't say it drove everything from our year in 2019. I think in 2018 we were so good all year, and I guess we kind of had top spot really wrapped up from a fair way out. So it was kind of I guess a different feel, and it probably took the edge off the season that little bit, which in 2019, you know, we're fighting for a top 4 spot for the whole entire year right up to the last game. So yeah, it was disappointing, but we definitely learned some good lessons from that. A
little bit like Geelong this year. They were on top so far and so far in front. It's hard to sort of stay up, isn't it? And just peak at the right time.
Yeah, definitely. I think we played Geelong around 13, 14, and they were absolutely flying. And yeah, we weren't going too well, but yeah, it was obviously a different story in the prelim.
So despite winning a flag and coming within 2 wins of defending it, the external narrative entering the 2019 pre-season had suddenly turned to Richmond needs to win the flag in 2019 or they might be wasting this era. Bachar, is that how the group felt inside the 4 walls, or was that just external noise?
Definitely external noise. You know, what happens in the 4 walls at the football club, it's very sacred, and I can guarantee you that it's fun, it's enjoyable, and we don't look at previous performances, you know, to define us or to motivate us moving forward. And you know, thinking about that prelim final, you know, people would say, was that, you know, the driving force? Was that your form of motivation? You know, to come out the blocks early and to perform really well and, you know, have another shot at a grand final. It wasn't the case. It was more about the process. It was about the, you know, enjoying the journey, as I mentioned before. You know, starting from a great pre-season, a fun, enjoyable yes, solid pre-season, but just enjoying all the moments that come with it. And I remember, multiple sessions where, it was very, very solid, but we were in it together, and the smiles on each other's faces was something that that resonates with me. And there's no coincidence why you're a successful team, but it's all about the journey. It's all about enjoying every single moment, and that was Dimma's message from day one. The reality is we're here now. Enjoy it, because football can come and go without you knowing, and it's a blink of an eye. So enjoy the moment.
Richmond would enter the 2019 season as premiership favourites, buoyed by the recruitment of the game's biggest free agent, Tom Lynch, from the Gold Coast. And Dion, there were some questions, including by Alex Rance last year, about how Tom might fit into the Richmond structure. But 2020 hindsight obviously shows that the timing of Tom's arrival at Tigerland turned out to be impeccable. How did he fit in early on and off the field? And did it take a little bit of time to work him into the system?
Yeah, I guess it was probably a tough one for Tom, because he started in rehab and he obviously spent the whole pre-season in rehab. So I guess I find the best way to form relationships and get to know your teammates is being out on the track with them. And I guess it's where you can really form those strong relationships, where Tom probably missed out on. So it's an absolute credit to him, because he's such a good guy. He could go to any club in any situation, and I can think everyone will get along with him and absolutely love him. He's just got that, I guess, goofy personality where you just really love. And yeah, I'm sure it would have been really tough for him coming to a new club and starting in rehab, but what he was able to achieve this year was absolutely amazing, and full credit to what he's all the work that he put in probably back in September, really, in 2018.
Well, let's get into our look back at the 2019 season and revisit how this premiership campaign unfolded week by week. It began way back on March 21st with what turned out to be a somewhat bittersweet season opener at the home of footy.
Richmond launched into 2019 against traditional rival